Hey guys, this is Freyja here, and I'm doing my creative oral today on pole dancing. I know it sounds a bit weird, but I can definitely connect it to well-being and occupation. Just hear me out and I'll explain everything in the video. So yeah, hope you enjoy. So I decided to do a presentation like this is because I believe I'm really bad at oral presentations, and this was just a more creative medium for me, and it was something new that I could try. I got the idea for this type of a video from other people on YouTube, so excuse my really bad drawings, but hopefully you can understand what's going on. So how did I get into pole dancing? Well, as you may know, Holly, she's an OT student as well. We had a group assignment with her and she always talked quite highly about it. And one day she just introduced me to it, and I started watching a lot of YouTube videos on it. And she's like, hey, you should come along to a class. And I was like, okay, let's do that. So I did, and it was great. Pole dancing actually dates back to the 12th century. In India, it is usually only performed by men. In China, it can be performed on a 9 to 12 meter pole. And in America, it was associated with gypsies in the 1920s and became a fitness craze in around 2004. So I conducted my creative project by doing 12 one-hour sessions at the studio each week, twice a week. I'd also follow that up with 2 gym sessions of the week just to build up my upper body strength. I'd also have regular conversations with my teacher just so we could check my progress. So though I've only just been introduced to pole dancing, I've had quite a lot of dancing experience in the past, as is evident by this lovely array of costumes that you can see. I've done acrobatics, jazz, tap, contemporary, street funk, hip hop, and I've been anything from Spider-Man to an antelope. I conducted my pole dancing classes at Adrenaline Dance Studio in Thaguna. On my first class, it was quite an interesting experience for me because I was only a beginner and I was put with a lot of very experienced pole dancers who'd been doing it for a number of years, and it was quite a frustrating experience to see them doing really complex tricks when I was only doing the basics. In terms of equipment, the first thing that I learned was to wear really short shorts so that your thighs would be able to grip the pole, as you can see by my illustration. The second one was that I started on a rotating pole, which gave you the spin just to get you used to the whole concept of pole dancing. Also doing a maximum of 30 minutes of a warm-up before you started, and also just staying hydrated with water. This trick is called the fairy, and it's one of the first tricks that I tried on a rotating pole. The Superwoman builds up to a lot of tricks that is one of the basics. This was one of the more complex tricks that I did. It involved a lot of rotation and also hooking your leg. The barbed wire was one of the more developmental tricks that would get you used to being upside down. This is the barbed wire without the rotating pole. Notice how it doesn't look as good. I don't personally like being upside down because it makes me dizzy, so doing this trick was quite a big step for me. The health benefits of pole dancing would be anything you would find with the onset of a new routine. So there'd be the increase in heart rate, turning fat into muscle. There'd also be the release of endorphins that'll make you feel happy, and just that general burn in your muscles and sweating so you feel like you're doing something. So my personal definition of creativity may be different to someone else's. Basically, I always got good marks in arts in high school, but arts doesn't necessarily mean creativity. It could also mean things more along the lines of sewing or fashion, or it could be even sport because there's a whole tactical side to sport about making decisions and being creative. And there's also dance and drama, and it's all just about having fun. Well-being to me is comprised of a few different elements. The first is just filling yourself with good food, because if I'm filling myself with good food, then I feel good. Just being happy, just as a general principle, just with yourself and the people around you. Also exercise, just doing something productive to fill my day. Being educated and just surrounding myself with positive people and friends and family. Just positives of pole dancing. Overall, it just gave me a sense of accomplishment that I could do some of the tricks. It also developed my relationship further with Holly. We became really good friends. I also made some more friends at the studio. It also increased my flexibility, something that I'd lost since I've stopped dancing. It also increased muscle tone. I lost a bit of weight, and I got better stomach muscles, which is something that I've always wanted. So how does pole dancing tie in with well-being? Well, as I said, in my elements of well-being, it's all about living an active and healthy lifestyle, which makes me really happy. I can get that with pole dancing, as pole dancing gives me that sense of accomplishment when I can get a trick that I've been working on for a while. It's also about just increasing your heart rate and the release of endorphins and makes you feel happy. One of the things that I haven't talked about much is sex. Sex is quite a big part of pole dancing, as pole dancing was a industry in the 60s and the 70s. A lot of women that I actually talked to in the classes said that they did pole dancing because it made them feel sexy, so it can be tied to well-being as well. So I'm going to quote Schmid here and just talk about the importance of creativity is thinking originally. And I think that thinking originally is very, very important to an OT as it can enhance your practice and just help you come up with solutions to problems. And it can just help with being an OT in the future as well. So the importance of well-being is that it just all around makes you a better person and it helps you participate in your daily occupations. It just improves your life worth more than anything, really. I mean, like, who wouldn't want to be more of a positive and happy person? It's just all about getting the most out of life and just living a very colorful existence. There weren't very many issues or negatives that I could find about pole dancing, but I just thought I should list a few. Just paying for the classes became a bit difficult, juggling money and uni fees and everything like that. Also, the class times had to revolve around my schedule, and there were a few conflictions there. Also, just seeing girls who were doing tricks that I weren't able to do, and I'm just a very competitive person, so that was a bit of a thing that I struggled with. So overall, this assignment just taught me what it was to be creative with my daily occupations and just what well-being is to me and how it could differ from someone else's definition. I also learned really cool tricks in pole dancing. I'm going to continue it after this assignment is finished. Overall, thank you for listening and watching my assignment. I hope that my voice wasn't too monotone for you. But yeah, have a good one.